Hello to you, Mark Hall here with your weekly fine wine investment market update. Today, Thursday the 16th of May 2013. So today I'd like to give you a quick update on the Entrepreneur campaign, which, as mentioned in my report last week, seems to be dragging itself along without too much enthusiasm. We're still waiting for some of the big guns from the right bank to release, so perhaps when that finally happens then the campaign will actually perk up a bit. But generally speaking, it is very slow indeed. Now, what's going wrong with it? Well, the answer to that, I think, is fairly straightforward. And that is that the Chateau, with a few notable exceptions, have released their wines at too high a price. Now, the last time investors were able to buy Entrepreneur at truly sensible prices was when purchasing the 2008 offering. Unfortunately, since then, the Chateau have released their wines at prices that turn both investors and collectors off the Entrepreneur campaigns in a very big way indeed. Now, it doesn't seem to us to be that difficult to get the release price correct. In fact, all a property has to do is look at all the physical vintage of their wine available on the market and set the release price lower than all of them. If they do that, then people will buy. This is actually what was needed this year, but unfortunately there are a few exceptions, of course, but generally it hasn't happened. Now, I'd go as far as to say that if you put yourself in an investor's shoes, then you have to wonder what is actually attractive these days in buying Entrepreneur. I mean, traditionally the benefits of buying Entrepreneur were very, very clear indeed. You got in at the lowest price that the wine was likely to ever be priced at and watched it grow in value. If, for example, you can pick up a case of, let's say, Lafite Rothschild on the Entrepreneur at £3,000 a case, when the cheapest physical vintage is around £5,000 a case, then that makes sense. But if you can buy a decent physical vintage, a vintage of comparable quality, say, to the Entrepreneur, at a lower price than the new vintage, well, why bother? So, which wines have released at sensible prices? Well, from the first growth, it's worth looking at both the Haut-Brion and the Mouton Rothschild. Both of these wines have good Parker scores, and they've also got realistic release prices. Other wines to watch and possibly buy would be Pichon Lalande, which released its 2012 at 20% cheaper than last year. The Grand Puy Lacoste, which is down 19% on last year, and Beychevelle. Now, the Beychevelle property has only dropped the price of their wine by a little over 10% on last year, but it is still cheaper than just about all of the physical vintages on the market. Now, that's because it recently has been bought very heavily in China, and that has driven up the price of the physical vintage. Now, wines we have bought, well, that includes the Avangil and Duhart Millon. And of course, today Clinet have released their 2012 offering at 12% less than last year. Now, Parker rates this very highly, so this one looks like it could be a good bet. So, with the likes of Petrus and Cheval Blanc still to release, the campaign is by no means over. But I do think that the general feeling in the market is one of frustration. That the majority of Chateau once again totally ignored the market and released their prices too high. As a company, we are, however, making excellent returns for our clients with selected 2012s and back vintages. So if you would like to be able to buy and sell wines from Livex at industry prices, you can do so by opening a trading account with us. Now, our trading platform is unique in the industry and by far the easiest and most cost-effective way of buying, selling wines at this moment in time. And don't forget, if you simply want to sell your wine, we will do so immediately for you at the exact market price and charge you the lowest fee in the industry for doing so. So call us on 0208 858 9990 or visit us at astonlovell.com and register for a trading account and we'll be happy to help you. That's about it for this week, so I'll see you next Thursday.